I'm going to throw now to our MC, the one, the only Mary Kostakidis.
I am joined here today by some of the most respected investigative journalists in the country and some of the most respected human rights advocates. We stand with the Journalists Union, the MEAA, with New South Wales Council of Civil Liberties and with Amnesty International, and call on the Australian government to demand that the extradition and political prosecution of Julian Assange is dropped. For the first time in history, the United States is prosecuting a publisher under the Espionage Act, applying a domestic United States law internationally and criminalising journalism. This is a threat to our sovereignty and a threat to press freedom and democracy. If it's successful, the result will be that no journalist anywhere will be safe if they publish US secrets. It doesn't matter how important it is for the public to know. It will always also mean that other governments will be emboldened to emulate the US action to control the public narrative. Julian Assange and WikiLeaks published evidence of war crimes, corruption, lies, and for publishing the truth, he faces 175 years in a supermax prison in the United States. The reason Julian was granted asylum by Ecuador is because they concluded that his safety and freedom were at risk because of his publishing. The reason he was stripped of asylum and dragged from the embassy in contravention of international law was because of his publishing. The reason he has since been held in solitary confinement in a supermax British prison is because of his publishing. With little access to his lawyers and extremely difficult access for visitors, and I experienced that firsthand. Soon after Julian was charged, draconian laws were used here to raid journalists in Australia. We are going to see increasing numbers of whistleblowers and journalists in jail in this country if we don't stop this now. Only public opinion will turn the tide. The media, though, has played an insidious role. Do we care enough about our democracy? Because if we do, this is the moment to stand up and be counted, to say journalism is not espionage, to say enough is enough, enough abuse of this Australian's human rights, enough abuse of this Australian's legal rights, and enough of that empty phrase, consular assistance. Filmmaker James Ricketson was charged with espionage in 2017 and spent 18 months in a Cambodian jail. He was released because of the intervention of then Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and other beneficiaries. There have been other beneficiaries of high-level intervention, including Peter Grester, who was jailed in Egypt. This current government has also secured the return of Australians in similar circumstances. James Ricketson is in London at present, but has sent us this message. Assange's only crime is to have performed the task that all journalists and publishers are obliged to: speak truth to power. In the absence of such public scrutiny of their actions, the rich and powerful can behave as they please without we the people knowing that they have broken the law or acted in a way that undermines our democracy. If Assange is extradited in the absence of the most vocal of public objections, we in the media will be complicit in our own intimidation into silence. We stand before you today refusing to be intimidated into silence.